morning, guys. This is Victor Vasquez with National Title. Welcome to another segment of our show. And as always, we have Philip Bouchard.
Good morning, Victor.
Hey, Philip, tell us what we have here today.
Oh, we have Candace Buxton, an amazing escrow officer at National Title Company.
Okay, guys. So today we're going to talk about vesting. Okay, we're going to talk about different vestings and how can they affect your transaction. And without further ado, I'm going to take take the reins of it, so she can explain to us what can happen if we have the wrong vesting, and we're going to go over some examples as well.
Hey, Vic, before we get to Candace, will you explain briefly what vesting means in the world of real estate ownership?
Absolutely, guys. It's very simple. It's the way one's whole title. You know, it's a couple is married, husband and wife as joint tenants. However, there can be husband and wife as joint tenants, wife as survivorship, just husband and wife. But there's a lot of different things that can happen if we don't have the right vesting.
Okay, so it's the way in which real estate is owned.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Candace, have you had any experiences recently where a vesting issue has created a delay in the closing? Because I think really what we're trying to help our clients with are ways in which they can avoid delayed real estate closings.
Yes, absolutely. If a buyer or borrower is married and we're not notified until signing, then that definitely becomes an issue because we now have a non-borrowing spouse that's not going on title and they do need to sign a spousal deed. Hopefully they're local, but if not, it definitely can delay our closing because we need to get that individual to sign a spousal deed.
Right, and I guess unless we're told by either the lender or the realtors, we're not going to know if somebody's married until they come in to sign closing documents.
Yep, we won't know until signing.
So that's definitely going to be a delayed closing, especially if the spouse is not local or happens to be out of town at the time or can't come in and sign immediately. Fantastic.
Well, we just had it last week. They came to sign documents, and we found out during the signing that they actually got married. But we don't know. Nobody notified us, so they have to go back to underwriting and delay the transaction.
Oh, and conversely, so we've been talking about if people get married, or if they're married. Candace, what happens if we find out that people are not married, that there's been a divorce?
Yeah, if a seller was married when they took title and then recently became divorced, now that they're selling the property, we need a copy of that decree to confirm how the proceeds are to be divided.
Oh yeah, and maybe who was supposed to get the property, and maybe the proceeds aren't to be divided.
Absolutely.
Maybe one party or the other are supposed to get all the proceeds.
Yeah, and we wouldn't know that until we get a copy of that decree, so that can hold up closing because we won't close until we have a chance to review that divorce decree.
So let me ask you one question in regards to that, Candace. I get several calls where they are trying to instruct escrow to go ahead and just give all the funds to one spouse, but there's a divorce decree. The other spouse says, you know what, I'm okay with doing it. However, we as escrow have to follow that divorce decree, regardless of what they're instructing us to do. Am I correct?
Yeah, we would definitely want to review the divorce decree, and I think that would depend on the situation and how the divorce decree is written, and what each party is specifying in terms of the proceeds being split.
Wow.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much,
Thank
Candace.
you.
Hey, Vic, what do you have in your hand there?
All right, guys, right here, if you guys are interested, I have a sheet called Different Ways of Holding Title and Vesting. If you guys want a copy of this, give Philip or myself a call or an email. We'll go ahead and send it over to you guys. Have this next to your office, and we'll explain what the different ways of vesting title and joint tenancy, tenants in common, community property. It's a very valuable sheet to have.
And we want to be sure that you understand that this is not to be construed as legal advice, but title advice. We're not lawyers and we can't give legal advice, but certainly in the realms of owning real property, and we escrow holders and issuing title insurance, vesting is a part of what we do. All right, well, we appreciate you being with us this morning. Candace, thank you so much for joining Victor and I. Vic, it's always a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you so much, Candace. And don't forget to catch us next week on our show. If you guys need anything from Philip or myself, my number is 702-379-8807.
And I'm at 702-525-4240. Thank you.
See you next week, guys.
Bye.